So far, every single one of my theories regarding Pokémon Winds and Pokémon Waves are about new things that might be coming to these games. But there's always something that just returns, and in the last few years we've seen a lot of legendaries doing exactly that. So, hey, I'm not so a strainer, and what legendaries are gonna return? Let's get into it. I first got this idea when looking at the website during Pokémon Day because of this right here. During this adventure, you'll be able to team up with all kinds of Pokémon to overcome both the difficult road ahead and even the forces of nature that block your path at times. Emphasis on forces of nature. Before you start throwing Geodudes at me, I know what they mean when they're talking about the forces of nature. It is very likely that this game will have various ways to stop our progress, various obstacles, and they will very likely be tied to weather, and they are, the nature, the forces of nature. So we'll have to deal with the actual forces of nature, not the other forces of nature. But that's also the reason why I feel like this Pokemon fit the concept way too well. We have last seen them in Pokémon Legends Arceus, which one could say that was not that long ago, but it will be 5 years when Pokémon Winds and Pokémon Waves comes out. My friends, that is half a decade. And before that, we had seen the OG trio, well, just 2 years before in 2020 with the Crown Tundra DLC and the Dynamax Adventures, the best multiplayer Pokémon has ever had. Rules do not really apply for legendaries, and as long as they fit the concept, everything is fine. Here in this case, one could argue that they are already tied to Unova in modern Pokemon games, but if there's something that history taught us about this Pokemon is that they are always traveling the Pokemon world and are the reason for various weather events and even the seasons themselves. Well, all of them are traveling the Pokemon world except for one, the one that vanished. Now, I know Lore Keeper Toby has a pretty cool explanation for it, but Pokemon theories and lore keeps on evolving as more stuff comes out. It's actually beautiful and one of the reasons we can keep on guessing forever. And it is my theory that Enamorus eventually settled in the Winds and Waves region. And for that, I have various reasons. First, Enamorus already looks like something that could be tied to a Southeast Asian region. One of its possible inspirations is the goddess Saraswati, the goddess of learning, art, speech, creativity, language, and many more things, which is important in Balinese Hinduism. Another reason is its Therian form that is inspired by a soft-shelled turtle, of which the Asian giant soft-shelled turtle is native to Southeast Asia, which is also home to many other species. There is also a story in Javanese mythology where Vishnu transforms into a giant turtle and carries Meru, a mountain, upon its back, and Brahma transforms into a giant Naga serpent that wraps itself around the mountain and turtle's back in order for them to be transported safely. I'm gonna be honest, this is a turtle that looks like a serpent, and if you tell me that a serpent is kind of forming a mountain, I could see it. There's also another thing. If you look at the Pokédex entry for the Therian form in Pokémon Legends Arceus, you can see that Laventon wrote, "From the clouds it descends upon those who treat any form of life with disrespect, and metes out wrathful, ruthless punishment." This validates my theory a little bit more because I believe that whatever evil team we find here, if we find any, has to be doing something to destroy the beauty of this region, destroy what's natural like pollution or deforestation, something like that. I'll have a video on that very soon. And finally, there's the fact that you haven't been able to catch Enamorus in any game but a Legends game. While you could transfer it to Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet, you had to get her in Pokémon Legends Arceus. For some reason, that doesn't feel right. I think that adding it to a classic Pokémon game, together with an actual explanation as to why she disappeared for so long, might be a perfect way to tie together these two regions that, at first glance, had nothing to do with each other. And that is the theory. While I accept that the rest of the forces of nature might not be there as they've been tied to Unova in modern Pokemon, I really do believe that Enamorus might be part of the Pokémon Winds and Pokémon Waves games. But what do you think? Do you see that happening? Do you see any other legendaries returning? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. But before I go, I want to thank my YouTube members Good Old Deo, Sean Speaks and Dash Plays, and my Twitch subscribers Anubis here, Zanes222, Lazarix, The Dr. Joe, and Teixeira23 for going that extra mile. Thank you so much for all of your support.